We talking about sports, get ball.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. That's right. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever play yourselves. This episode, I got my cousin, my big bro, Roshan Bhatt, with me. Appreciate you being back on, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Glad to be back here. Let's get spicy, you know?
You already know. Without further ado, yeah, fam or nah. And speaking of which, MLB playoffs, the World Series is wrapped up. The Dodgers defeated the Tampa Bay Rays in 6 games. It is their first championship since 1988. Everyone made sure that we all knew that, jammed it down and ingrained it in our heads. Game 6 featured, for some reason, the Rays manager, Kevin Cash. It's a disrespect that he has that last name, but for some reason, he put an exclamation mark on his entire postseason by taking out Blake Snell, while Blake Snell was absolutely dealing in the 6th inning. The Rays were up 1-0. He had given up, I think, 1 hit at that point. And, of course, we all know how it went after that. Immediately after Snell got pulled, the Rays gave up the lead, and then Mookie Betts added an insurance run later in the game for the Dodgers to get their first World Series, and apparently the longest curse ever, like forget the Cubs all of a sudden. Corey Seager won the World Series MVP. Clayton Kershaw, our favorite super clutch all of a sudden pitcher, is 4-1 in these playoffs and got 2 wins in the World Series. So, yeah, fam or not to this result. What do you got, Rush?
Personally, I'm trying to grow up, and in my heart, I want to feel like I'm a yeah fam, but I'm most certainly a nah fam to this. The Dodgers, man, the Dodgers have the dumbest fucking fan base ever. Like, they're the kind of fans that, like, when I've gone to Dodger Stadium, and amazing stadium, it's beautiful, everything's great, LA's nice, but just watching the Dodgers fans interact with each other was just like a trip on its own. I got the exact same experience from, shocker, I'm sure, the Yankees. So I noticed the same thing at both stadiums. 2 fans of the same team, you know, Dodgers fans and Yankees fans, ended up fighting each other. And, like, this is the type of fan base they have. They get in fights with each other at the game, and then by the end of the game, it's all rah-rah and, like, let's hug it out, sorry about that. And it's just, like, such fucking bozo behavior. And I can't stand the Dodgers. I will never stand the Dodgers. Don't care. So, super not fam to that. And, you know, like, by the way, on Kevin Cash, just that whole sequence to me just brought back this PTSD from 2019, you know, when the Astros were in the World Series, Game 7 at home, you know, up, I think it was, 2-1, and Greinke gives up a hit, and just Hinch overthinks it, you know, goes back to the analytics, and just trusts the analytics over Blake Snell, who was absolutely shredding the Dodgers, like, and especially, like, their top 3 hitters, you know, Mookie, Mookie, Seager, and whoever the 3-hole, Turner. He was like 0 for 6 strikeouts. How do you not let him pitch that through? He gives up a single, and you yank him for a guy who's given up a run in 6 straight postseason games. I couldn't understand it. And as soon as he brought in Nick Anderson, I was like, well, here goes the Dodgers fucking W. And it was like pulling teeth, man. It was horrible to watch.
It's crazy that it didn't cost him sooner, because Cash legit helped the Astros come back in that ALCS series because of the stupid moves he made.
Big time.
Like, I know a Rays fan, like, he's one of all 12 of them, and he was fucking pissed at Cash. I mean, he just kept pulling pitchers that were dealing. It's like they have this notion that by the 3rd time a player gets through a lineup, they're going to all of a sudden be raking off them. It's like, let him get to that point first before you pull him in anticipation of it.
Yeah, it's a little too cute for me.
Yeah, the one thing I like, I will give credit, Dusty Baker this year. I mean, you saw in the playoffs, Greinke waved him off, and he actually listened to his player, and I love that. Like, only a pitcher knows if they have their stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like, at some point, I know nerds love the analytics, but just, like, give it a fucking rest.
Yeah,
there's a reason the improbable happens sometimes. But anyway, I'm a yeah fam. I'm happy for Dodgers fans to shut the fuck up. That's basically where I'm at. Like, just shut the fuck up already.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be more on this. Obviously, you have two Astros fans on this podcast. And you're damn right I did it for a reason. It's my fucking podcast, so...
From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Dodgers fans, I don't think I know many of you, but I'm sure you're tuned in, and you'll enjoy this. You'll think that you live rent-free in our head, but it couldn't be further from the truth, because we honestly don't give as much of a shit as you guys do. And I can assure you of that. Anyway, so NBA Finals all wrapped up. By the way, LeGod James, 4th title, no big deal.
Congrats to the GOAT.
Amen. More on him later, and not what you think it is, so just a little teaser for later. But I wanted to get your take on whether, yeah, fam or not, the NBA season should start around Christmas. So a little background before I get your answer on this. The league is working towards, and I think very close to, a December 22nd start date. It would be a 72-game season. It has been met with a little bit of resistance from the NBA Players Association and their union. Obviously having to do with the quick turnaround into the next season after they just finished in October. I think the NBA Players Association wants like a mid-January start, kind of around the MLK holiday. But on the NBA side and Adam Silver's side, they believe that there's somewhere between $500 million and $1 billion in revenue losses next season and beyond if they don't start in December. So that's quite a bit of change at stake here. So, yeah, fam or nah, NBA season should start around Christmas.
I'm pretty torn on this. Personally, I'm always going to side with the players on what they want to do as far as, like, considering their own safety. You know, the season ended, second week of October, basically? Was that when it ended?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's just like that turnaround from mid-October, let's just say, to Christmas is like a shade over 2 months. It's not enough time to shut the body down, not to mention you had to ramp up for an entire, like, basically new season under extreme, stressful circumstances, staying in a bubble, not seeing your family. And, I mean, yeah, overall, I'm a nah fam, I'm a yeah fam to me wanting basketball back because it was a really amazing playoff run and all that. But, yeah, I guess I got to go with the players and go with nah fam and just kind of let them come back when they want. I mean, fuck a billionaire, dude. I don't care if they lose money. I don't give a shit.
True. The one nice part, the reason I'm a yeah fam to this is I think only cutting 10 games would be nice, and it kind of gets them back to their regular schedule quicker. Mm-hmm. The more you keep pushing it back, it's going to start impacting future seasons. So,
sure.
Obviously, I'm just a fucking mathlete and behind a keyboard, so it doesn't impact me, and I don't have like an athletic specimen of a body, but I would rather just rip the Band-Aid off and like let's get it moving into the next season. I think what you're going to see is the people that had the late runs anyway, they're probably going to, our favorite phrase, load manage. I think LeBron's already said he's probably just going to cherry pick because he has Anthony Davis on his team. And
yeah, I saw that.
I'm here for it. Kawhi Leonard's already going to fucking load manage, and that could be a full fucking season. So
was he?
I don't think he's going to.
I got a question though. Was he load managing in Game 7 of the the Western Conference semifinals by any chance?
Don't ever play yourself.
I couldn't tell. Did he show up? I couldn't. I don't remember.
Yeah. So I mean, I know we're basing it off of, and you have to as a players union base it off the teams that were there at the end. So the Heat and the Lakers were the most recent to play, but you also have 8 teams that haven't played since March. So it's kind of a happy medium between people who haven't played in ages and people who left the bubble early, all the way to, you have your Lakers and Heat that played up until the most recent. So I'm a yeah fam. I think it should start around Christmas, and it kind of like already felt like the start of every NBA season, so now it'll just be official to the fans.
That's a good point too, because like football is so strong when NBA starts out that I don't really even start paying attention till like the Christmas Day like slate of games.
Exactly. You watch like the ring ceremony of the team that won, unless it's the Snakes of Oakland. I mean,
the ring asterisk
and a 0 ring.
Eddie LePew.
I guess we'll see what happens. I I have a hunch they'll end up coming to, I think the league has offered like a 50-50 revenue share too for starting that early. So that'd be a huge deal for the players to get a bigger chunk of more money, essentially.
Sure.
All right. Last but not least, fam or not. So college football, the school dominating headlines right now is Wisconsin. The Badgers have now canceled their second game due to a COVID outbreak on their team. Involves now 27 total active cases within the program. It's 15 student athletes, 12 staff members. They canceled their game last week against Nebraska and have now canceled this week's game against Purdue. If they cancel one more game, they would be ineligible for Big Ten championship contention. So my fam or nah related to this, and I think I kind of have an idea of which way you're leaning based on a couple episodes ago, but Wisconsin should have to start forfeiting games or just flat out suit up those that are healthy.
See, I think the college football programs are a little more, kind of unique to that because they have way larger rosters, for game day and all that. They don't have your
fucking ton of players.
Yeah, they don't have only 53 players, and when you have like 2-3 guys missing, and they're like, I don't know, you're starting O-line or whatever, you kind of fuck yourself with those. But like NCAA, I mean, honestly, you should have a choice. Like Wisconsin's kind of screwed because they've already, gotten rid of 2 of their games, so one more they're ineligible. So at that point, you would expect them to be like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna have to suit up and trot who we have out there. Clemson's playing without Trevor Lawrence. You guys can play with whoever and make it work. And I mean, if you're playing Rutgers or some shit like that, I don't know who's on the schedule for them this week.
Rutgers has already got a win this year, man. They won their opening game.
Yeah, they're way ahead of schedule, man. So I mean, make them suit up. NCAA has like tons of like players just sitting around, not getting paid. So what difference does it make?
For sure.
If they're in the program, suit them up. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a fam to this. Like, the issue here inherently is like Wisconsin's claiming they don't know how the outbreak started. Yeah, fucking right. They weren't taking it serious. Wisconsin as a state has been fucking sucking. I mean, I know our entire country has sucked with the COVID response, but Wisconsin especially is one of the worst. So I know exactly what's happening here. I bet you it's a player-related outbreak, and it spreads like wildfire. And it started with their quarterback, who had an incredible first game and drew national headlines. They opened on a Friday night. They opened the Big Ten schedule, and the next thing you know, they haven't played 2 games.
Yeah.
And here's my number one thing, and it's a nice segue into you played yourself, but a pre-you played yourself goes to the Big Ten. If you're going to play football, so they're on their 3rd iteration of a Big Ten schedule. We know the history. They had their original one. Then COVID happened. Then they said, all right, let's wind it back, and we're going to do a modified schedule, conference only, where they built in 2 bye weeks per team. They started earlier. Mm-hmm. And then they went to canceling the season and wound up back with this season that gives them no leeway to move around games. Like, absolutely nothing. It doesn't give them any cushion.
Congratulations.
And ultimately, the Big Ten played themselves because they thought somehow they were up in front of everything in COVID. They thought they were the trendsetters in college football, and they couldn't have been further from the truth. They had it right the second schedule. Every team had 2 byes. They were conference only. It was, if you were going to play, that was the setup to have because it gives you an ability. Wisconsin wouldn't be fucking screwed right now. Yeah, and here we are. It's like probably one of the top teams in the Big Ten, and they're not going to be eligible even to play in that final 9th week of the Big Ten championship. I mean, the Big Ten West is going to be wide open. Every year it is, it feels like, but especially this year. And it's a shame for their athletes because not only did they not take it serious, but they didn't even save themselves from themselves here.
Totally.
So ultimately, like, back to the question, I think Wisconsin should have to start playing and suiting up or forfeiting. Because it's kind of bullshit that they can just sit there with 1 win. And I know the penalties are coming if they cancel their 3rd, but right now they have no repercussions.
Yeah, and they're going to put a lot less strain on their bodies and, wear and tear and whatever you want to say. And, like, let's say they don't have to cancel another game and then they're fresh for, like, the stretch run. And, they got 3 fucking weeks off. And, nah, it's whack.
Yep.
And then they're essentially getting
other programs.
Yeah, and they're essentially getting rewarded for being reckless and careless. And, nah.
Because if you're all agreeing to one thing, and you agree as a conference and push for this, and you don't hold up your end of the bargain, well then, like, it's on fucking you. When we talked about it before, like, in the event of this, we thought of it in a broad scope of college football, but now here we are, actually a team that's causing a domino effect. So, guess we'll see. All right. You already know what time it is. You know why you came here.
I'm petty as hell. And I'm super petty.
Here we
Petty Le Pew.
go.
That's right. You played yourself as up, and we got a doozy for you. Me and Rush, we're family. We keep it all the way spicy, which you've probably already could tell from your guest spots, being an actual co-host, and having clips. So this is going to be no different. Before we get to the main event, as I call it, I have a few minor ones, and I'll get your thoughts on them and see how you feel, especially this first one. The first you played yourself goes to the Green Bay Packers. So this team still fucking refuses to get wide receiver help. It is actually incredible how bad they are at this. We heard all day that they were trying to get a deal for the Texans' Will Fuller. They didn't get a deal done over a disagreement on what the draft pick value was. Fam, you're in real contention and running out of years with Rodgers. And you're running out not because of anything else. Speaking of not getting a receiver, you're running out because you set a timer on Rodgers' time with your franchise by drafting Jordan Love. Like, I don't understand this concept where you value your draft picks so much on one hand that you won't trade them for an actual weapon you can use on the field, but then you turn around during that draft and you use your weapons on people that won't fucking help. It's like the most asinine thing, and it must be nice. Like, of course, I'm talking as a fucking Cowboys fan, allegedly. Cowboys are a team, allegedly. But, like, we have real shit to worry about, and the Packers are literally just, like, finding things to fuck up. It's like you have no reason to be messing this up, and here you are. What you got with this one? I know you have something to say because Will Fuller's a Texan.
Yeah, I mean, so as a Texans fan, we're in a really shitty spot this year. Bill O'Brien has just done irreparable damage, and at this point, someone like Will Fuller, who's basically an outgoing whatever free agent, we can't even pay him because if you think about it, in the long run, the compensatory draft pick that we get is going to be worth more than paying whatever contract he is so he can hit injured reserve at some point next year. And it's just like, as a Texas fans, I gotta say the Packers really they played themselves by not giving any. I mean, I'm sure you could have got a deal done with a 2 or a 3. And at this point, if you're looking at the draft, you're talking about. I mean, Will Fuller is solid. If he's healthy, he's great. He's been great, especially, with a quarterback like Deshaun Thorne. Aaron Rodgers arguably has an incredible resume, despite what we feel about him, and he'll get him the ball. There's no way Rodgers can, rocket that ball 30, 40 yards, and Will Fuller would be able to take the top off of that, any secondary that they play. And I just don't understand not giving him that kind of weapon when you going into a game without a fucking running back. And it's like, what do you expect this guy to do? It's just like,
100%.
Hate him all you want, but it's just like, dude, you have fucking, I don't know, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, whoever the fuck, some guy named
Alan Lazard, what the fuck?
Bro, like, these guys are like chumps, and like, no disrespect to them, they're in the NFL, but dude, how hard is it
to them.
Yeah, how hard is it to get literally a franchise quarterback, like what, 15 quarterbacks in the NFL right now? You can't get this guy who's like, what, 3-4 games over 500, someone to throw him, opposite Devontae Adams.
What's also bananas to me is like this past year's draft. You're seeing like almost a borderline historic wide receiver draft class.
Yeah,
and the Packers had an opportunity to draft any one of them, and they passed on all of them. Like first round, second round. There's people across the fucking board making real production in the league in their rookie year, and the Packers chose to ignore them all.
It's
it's
insane, yeah.
And then they have an opportunity to trade for one, and they don't do it then. I mean, if you want to win another ring, Aaron Rodgers still only has one ring. For as high as we tout him, like, he has one ring, and, like, he can only complain to the refs so much. He will do his share in complaining for the refs, but, like, that, I would like to think it wouldn't just complain his way into a ring. Like, give him some fucking help besides Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and it's just like at some point, when you hit the playoffs, you know which games they're going to lose because they're going to run into some elite defense who's going to throw two people on Devontae Adams, and then once again he's going to have to throw to Marquez Valdez-Scantling for a game-winning drive, and it's just not going to fucking happen. And it's just like you're not going to get it done
against the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
you saw it against the Buccaneers, man.
The Bucs are. You can't tell me Brady can outplay Rodgers at this point in his career, and the Bucs made him look silly, man. They made him look terrible.
And then you have the Bucs that get Brady another fucking weapon with Antonio Brown, by the way. You couldn't be polar opposite of how you're treating these
it's amazing.
Historic quarterbacks. But anyway, okay, that's a nice segue. You Played Yourself goes to the NFL trade deadline in general. This shit is so uneventful. Compare it to the NBA trade deadline. They're not even close. Like, I know that the trade deadline also fell on the election, but there were legitimately, like, no moves. You had, like, an inside linebacker, Williamson from the Jets, go to the Steelers, which, good for him. He went from a 0-win team to an undefeated team, so, like, good on him.
Nice. Yeah.
But there were, like, no meaningful moves. And that is quite the trend in the NFL in their trade deadline, I feel like.
Yeah, they definitely have the worst trade deadline of all. I don't even, like, much or less keep up with it just because it's just like, nothing's going to happen. I slightly paid attention this year because of the Will Fuller talks. And, I mean, apparently, like, every Texans receiver was up for sale, but not one of them moved, which is not a shocker.
Right.
So I'm just like, this is such a dud, dude.
Will Fuller was the one to move because he's still on an affordable deal. Like, no one...
And at what point do you even just be like, oh, we get a fourth for him? Cool, we don't have to pay him next year. And it's just like, it's just like, what would you have gotten, as a compensation anyway? So who cares?
And before we get into the main event, I got another one for you. This You Played Yourself goes to the notion that the New York Jets, if they got the number one pick, would keep Sam Darnold instead of drafting Trevor Lawrence. It's fucking banana land. Trevor Lawrence, we're talking about Andrew Luck level talent. If the Jets passed on Lawrence, they'll play themselves worse than the people claiming it's a possibility right now. I mean, granted, it would be so the Jets to pass on Lawrence, but you are absolutely, to use your word, a fucking bozo if you're trying to say that Lawrence wouldn't be taken. Darnold's not a once in a decade, once in a generation talent. Trevor Lawrence is and has been. He's lived up to his expectations at Clemson. He's a winner. Everything you want. He has size, pocket presence. He can act his way into a flag, like everything you'd fucking want.
I saw it coming.
There's no fucking way that the Jets should, and I, for their sake, hope would keep Sam Darnold and pass on Trevor Lawrence. Be the stupidest thing ever. And whoever was fortunate enough to be number two just had the most valuable gift gifted to them. So You Played Yourself goes to anyone suggesting that. Like, I heard a few radio personalities, like people saying, oh, let's pump the brakes on this. No, let's not fucking pump the brakes. This is a tank for Trevor sweepstakes right now. It absolutely is.
And it'd be
stupid if the Jets even won a game.
Yeah. If they're tanking as it is, and if they don't want him, then start trying to fucking win football games. I just don't understand where their head's at. And it's just like, you're going to end up as the number one pick, and you're not going to take Trevor Lawrence, but keep a guy who was mic'd up and said he's seen ghosts out there when he threw, 4 fucking picks in one game? That's insane. This dude wasn't even a winner in college. He wasn't even a winner in college.
Darnold's not going to, he might be better in a better situation. Like, I saw something, I think I heard on the radio, floated Darnold in Kyle Shanahan's system in San Francisco might be great. Fine. Jets, trade him. There's no way Darnold is better than Trevor Lawrence. You're not doing anything with Darnold. You're not surrounding him with talent either. You might as well go with a younger version and a better version. That's just, it's that simple. Like, you're playing yourselves if you think anything else. It's Trevor Lawrence. Like, I have no reason to like the guy. It is so fucking obvious he should be the number one pick.
Totally.
If he's not, it would be the stupidest move ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we got to the point where we need to be in the whole reason why you know why I came here, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, we already gave them their props, but
You gave them their props.
I gave them that. You thought about it. Yeah,
I mean, about it.
It's
I
the
considered
right.
it.
It's the right level of petty. It's on brand for this. Someone has to do it. So we gave them their props, kind of, but it's time to unload on these so-called World Series champs, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yikes.
Listen, you played yourself, and I hope, like I said earlier, I hope they'll finally shut the fuck up. They're so butthurt that they choked away title after title. It took a 60-game asterisk season to finally win. If that's what it takes for y'all to shut up, great. But y'all still played yourselves. You still fucking played yourselves. That your first title since fucking 1988 is on a little baby season. That if anyone else would have won, your dumbasses and sour asses would have claimed it was bullshit anyway.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
What you got?
Man, I'm with you, man. This season seemed pretty fake, you know, especially since the Astros lost. I have no reason to believe that this is a real season whatsoever. There's no crowds, there's no traveling. The MLB even let the Dodgers basically camp out at Arlington, whatever the fuck that stadium's called. That looks exactly like Minute Maid Park, by the way. Can we talk about that? Why did there's a guy on the Astros telecast. His name is Jeff Blum. I'm sure you know him. He calls it Mimic Maid Park, and I think that's like fantastic. I love that shit.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyway,
and it's just hours away.
Yeah, it's 4 hours up the road, up 45. It looks like a barbecue grill. Like there's not enough clowning in the world for that stadium. And the MLB let the Dodgers just stay there the entire postseason run. And I don't get how they were able to do that when teams like even the Astros, they played in 3 different parks in the postseason. Yep. And it's just like I don't get how the Dodgers were able to do that. That shit was basically gift wrapped for them. And like they also allowed fans in the World Series and like you said earlier, Tampa Bay has 12 fans total, much or less any fans in Arlington.
And the one I know didn't go.
Yeah. And so it's just like, and had they not won it, if they didn't win it after adding Mookie, man, they would have had to ban my Twitter account because they basically had a cheat code unlocked. And if they choked that shit away against the Braves, I was about to clown the shit out of them, man. They would have had to block me.
It still took him 7 games.
It did. And while we talk about Mookie, I think Dodgers fans need to keep that same energy that they have for the Astros. I don't know if my memory serves correct, but I'm pretty sure Mookie was on the 2018 Red Sox.
Oh, yep. Research shows, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. What was the 2017 Astros the only asterisk that they were giving out? They weren't giving any to the 2018 Red Sox?
Apparently, you would fucking think that the 2017 Astros acted alone in history.
Yeah, and if the Astros cheated you out of the ring and the Red Sox did too, and you added their star player, what does that say about your franchise? And, Cody Bellinger had a lot to say prior to this season, but he was pretty quiet and, celebrating pretty hard with Mookie Betts. And it's funny how it works when things go your way.
It's crazy how soon you forget when all of a sudden you're getting the services of what you would ordinarily call would-be fucking cheater, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And now that George Springer is a free agent and, your favorite team might have some spending money to maybe go out and sign him, you're not going to blackball him? That's pretty nice of everybody, after they spent a whole year climbing into every Astros post on every social media, making fun of his stutter or whatever, all kinds of childish bullshit that I saw. I personally kept tabs on everything, considering if the Astros won, I was about to unload a burner account, Kevin Durant style, and just destroy all these people. Yeah. And, it's weird that he's not getting blackballed, and it's just like, next season, if he signs with another team, I hope to hear him get booed by the hometown when he's like mashing 430-foot home runs to lead off a game, every 6 games. And
fuck you fucking integrity of the sport people. Keep that fucking same energy when your team signs him or pursues him.
When they sign him and then he hits the these mammoth dongs in the playoffs, I'll be watching for who's cheering and seeing if their Twitter accounts said anything bad about the guy. It's insane.
Yeah, magically he'll never have been part of anything. I've never said anything about him.
Yeah, and it's like you saw that guy like Jared Carabas or whatever his name is. He's a Red Sox fan. He tweeted something along the lines of like, "Good for him. I hope he has a chance to rehabilitate his reputation." Like his team, the Red Sox, didn't just fire their manager, and win a ring using the exact same shit that he hates on the Astros for. And it's just like once we get to that point where we can unseal that Yankees letter and all these dominoes start to fall and like other teams really start getting named, in this like sign stealing shit, we can all just like finally shut the fuck up about it and just accept it for what it is, just like we accepted all the steroid championships and all these other stupid bullshits. Because baseball's been corrupt since day one, and it's just like, oh, now we're gonna like hang our hats on this thing, and I'm like, nah, I'm not here for it, man. In the meantime, I'm gonna go to sleep every night in my 2017 World Series champs hoodie.
Fuck yeah, no fucking asterisk there. If we're gonna put it on that. This 60-game World we already put on the 60-game World Series one. You guys love to make fucking Halloween costumes, the whole 9. We're just living fucking rent-free, sipping out of our World Series glasses and wearing our World Series gear from 2017. And, by the way, almost fucking blowing your shit up this past season, too. And my goodness, would I fucking love that if we made it to the World Series. People would have been so fucking upset.
They would have been punching the air, man.
They already mad. And I'll reiterate again, like, there's no reason you still shouldn't be mad. Some of your favorite fucking teams didn't make it as far as the Astros did, and the Astros were sub 500.
Yo,
and a game away from the fucking World Series.
26
a game
teams.
Fucking away. We were a game away and faced a pitcher that used to be on that goddamn team to beat us. Like let's keep it all the way 100. Charlie Morton was an Astro, and it took him to beat us and keep us from the World Series. So, again, keep that same fucking energy. 4 straight ALCS is like, you hate to see it, we love to see it.
Yep.
Fuck y'all. Bang, bang, bitches. Now, let's shift our focus from the Los Angeles Dodgers, who just ended this 1,000-year-old championship drought. Poor them. They haven't won in so long. My goodness. So much pain behind them. You guys don't fucking know pain. Speaking of the figurehead, Clayton Kershaw, please come to the front of the You Played Yourself congregation. So, Clayton Kershaw, first of all, maybe just a little jab here. Clayton Kershaw became just the 3rd starting pitcher to earn 2 wins and strike out at least 1/3 of the batters he faced in a single World Series. That's great, right? Like,
wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that. Like, you didn't just say what you just said. Not the point of this
little section. However, he's the first pitcher to do all that and not win a World Series MVP. You absolutely hate to see it. Couldn't be. It's not like me to be petty, guys. Come on.
I remember sending a tweet out that was saying like if Kershaw gets World Series MVP, that's gonna live rent free in my mind for weeks. And I'm so glad that it didn't happen, because now I can just fucking clown him like I have been doing for the last 15 years of my life, or however goddamn long he's been playing.
Feels like fucking forever.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he finally got one. Let's be real. He's had an amazing career, regular season for sure. Outside of him being like kind of like a Dallas turd, he's pretty likable, But like, there's like this narrative that his legacy was tarnished because the Astros banged on some trash cans or whatever. And by the way, there's no proof that anything happened in the postseason, so I'm gonna die on that hill with the rest of like the asshole Astros fans who are like in complete denial and just like, there's no way you could have heard any trash cans in the postseason. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Anyway, it's just like, for the record, by the way, he's 1-1 against the Astros in the World Series, and one of the games that he pitched was like a masterpiece, like a true like we could not hit the guy. And I think he had like
to the point where we're like, where's this choke job? Kershaw?
Yeah,
Like,
I was
we
waiting
need
on the
him.
choke job. It didn't happen. I think he got double-digit strikeouts. It was truly a masterpiece. But just the fact that people think that we killed his legacy is just, it's so laughable. This guy has like a highlight reel for other teams teeing off on him in postseason moments on YouTube. I spent probably 30 minutes watching 3 of the compilations today. They're about like 8 minutes each, and they're hilarious. Like one of them was like set to Benny Hill music, and I was just like, dude, this is exactly what it is. Like it was the one against the Cardinals where he just gave up hit after hit after hit after hit, and they like destroyed a 5-run lead in like 8 hits, and it's just like, you know, like just last year he gave off back-to-back home runs on 2 fucking pitches, 2 pitches. Rendon and Soto went yard on him, like mammoth yard. And, like, he blew a 3-1 lead, which is funny. It was a 3-1 lead. But, and, you know, and then I guess Joe Kelly, sure enough, 2018 Red Sox gave up a grand slam in extra innings and to ice their whole season. And they won, 106 games last year? So he's had tons of them. You know, the 2013 NLCS against the Cardinals, like I said. There's the 2014 NLDS against the Cardinals again, 2016 NLCS against the Cubs, and then once again the 2019 NLDS against the Nationals. So it's like his postseason legacy doesn't suck because of the Astros and just one game in 2017. You know, it's just that narrative has to die at some point, and I don't know.
It didn't suck because of the Astros. It sucks because he fucking sucked.
Yeah,
like
Google is free, people. This shit is available readily everywhere. YouTube. Clayton Kershaw chokes. You will find tons of videos on fucking YouTube. It's free. Try it.
Yeah, let me Google that for you. You just fucking did. So now you do some research.
And by the way,
stop blaming every goddamn thing on the fucking Astros because you hate that they won.
Yeah, and that they were 29-31 and got to your ALCS over 26 other teams that didn't make it anywhere. And by the way, Clayton Kershaw's like body probably thought it was still the regular season. You know, it was a 60 game season, so
yeah, he wasn't even in postseason mode.
Yeah, so he wasn't even in postseason mode yet. You know, he technically, if you look at a calendar,
talk about a fucking asterisk.
He wouldn't even start choking until January by my calculations. And like, you know, when pitchers and catchers report to spring training, he's just going to be giving up homers to these practice squad guys.
He's gonna be giving up absolute dogs to people that are gonna be on their double A team,
to the hitting coaches and shit. And I'm just like, come on, man. He's not
fucking
even there yet.
simulated games. He's just gonna be going yard after yard. It's gonna be like the fucking Cardinals in 2013.
And by the way, how come nobody's talking about fucking Turner testing positive? Justin Turner having COVID during Game 6 of the World Series. And they let him play knowing that he failed the test the day before. No one's going to talk about it. We're just going to sweep that shit under the rug. Is that what's happening? I don't get it, man.
And then he fucking came back on the field to celebrate with his team. Like, I get all that, but what the fuck are we doing, MLB?
Yeah, it was.
You went
was not
all
a good
this
look.
time without cases and made all these effort, and then you let him refuse the isolation orders. Like, this is fucking, like, it's not hyperbole to say this is life and death.
Yeah.
So for him, I get it's a culmination. You work really hard to get that World Series, but you're putting real people in danger, including, I know this has been talked about, but Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, is a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
So obviously not the strongest of immune systems. All these people are celebrating in close contact with you, and this guy was just out there willy-nilly, like he didn't just test positive and get removed from a game.
Yeah,
I could not fucking believe that.
It was weird seeing how all that was unfolding, just like seeing the tweets come through and then like watching in real time. You're like, wait, he tested positive. He's literally sitting next to Dave Roberts in this team photo without a fucking mask on, and you're just like, wait,
I
what
turned
the
it
hell is
off.
happening?
Like I wasn't about to watch their celebration, and I saw it the next morning. I was like, what the fuck? Like he should have been on his way home.
Yeah.
Let alone like able to come back onto the field. I could not believe I was seeing that. And he had his fucking mask on like a chin strap. God damn it, don't get me started on that. Like,
And
it's
just,
so
like,
freaking dumb.
Sending the wrong messages, kissing his kids, kissing his wife, and like hugging his teammates. And I'm just like, this is a really bad look, man. It was not cool. I thought it was very uncool.
MLB's going to have to do something about that.
And we just like, no one's updated on any of it. And you're not going to tell me that he didn't, there's no possibility that he gave it to anybody else. Like, he was in extremely close quarters. And I'm just like, come on, there's got to be some kind of follow-up. But it's like, once again, these like cash cows for the MLB kind of skirt by, Yankees, Dodgers, whatever you want. And they just like get this like preferential treatment. And I'm like sick of that shit, man. We're out of here.
He absolutely should serve some sort of suspension. I'm not talking like crazy, but you have to send some sort of message like, we're not going to tolerate that, because the fact of the matter is COVID doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and you cannot have that.
Nah.
Like, you literally had someone, and it's like your first positive in however long, not take it serious. That's an awful look. All right. So I promised this earlier and teased it earlier. This one truly pains me. I know it pains you, but we have to do it. No one is exempt. Rules are rules. You know how you played yourself is not spared from anyone. LeBron James, it's your turn. It's finally happened. You played yourself, LeGod. This Dodgers fanhood all of a sudden, like this whole put some respect on Clayton Kershaw's name now and forever. Please, fam. We've seen you as a Yankees fan. We've seen you as an Indians fan. And now you're a Dodgers fan. You were worried about the Astros allegedly cheating. And meanwhile, you never said shit about King Snake Kevin Durant joining the Warriors and cheating you out of fucking titles. We're really concerned with what's going on in MLB and being fans of every goddamn team that's in contention any year. And you're not worried about your own sport and some guy like fucking ruining it and claiming he has rings, which by the way, he has 0. He ruined the chance of you getting more rings. Like, focus on that. Who gives a shit about the rest of this? Like, you want us to put respect on Clayton Kershaw's name? Everyone already fucking is. Already blowing smoke like the Astros. We just talked about that. Like, the Astros ruined his legacy as if he didn't suck. Like, who's not giving him respect? Give me a fucking break.
Durant ruined his legacy,
team.
Man. Yeah, pick a team, man. Why can't he pick a team? I don't get it.
Then give me a break.
I love that. Wait, quick question. Is this LeBron's first time and you played yourself?
I was trying to think back. I have to think, like, it's got to be up there. Maybe he's been on it before. I don't think so. I can't think of it.
Well, I'm like kind of pained to be here for the first time LeBron's on it. But I also respect the fact that even though LeBron's on You Played Yourself, we still found some time to give Kevin Durant some airtime and, really deflect, the pain.
And new season's coming, so there should be plenty more of King Snake. I mean, he's going to be back for the Nets.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be weird. He's going to be with Flat Earth Kyrie Irving. We're about to hear some stupid-ass shit coming out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. He's got a podcast, so we're ready. I'm listening to that thing, ready for more dumb things to come out of there.
Fuck yeah. They already did in, like, episode 1, remember?
Yeah.
You were the host on that episode, right?
Yeah. It's amazing.
We talked about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron, pick a fucking team. There's been pictures of you in a Yankees hat, like you were at Indians games and you're on the Cavs. Come on, let's chill out here. It's not that deep. You don't care that much about baseball, clearly. It's like me, go Jackets, go hockey. Big hockey guy over here. It's LeBron's like big baseball guy over here. Fucking every team. I love him. Jesus.
I wonder if we dig deep enough if we find any like Miami Marlins tweets, because when he was in Miami, wasn't Giancarlo and Yelich on the Marlins?
He might have.
I bet if we dig hard enough, we can find some Go Marlins tweets, man.
Dude, but if he went to a Marlins game, like, that would have been the most inconspicuous. Like, nobody would notice that he was there.
Because nobody was there?
Yeah, if he's trying to duck the public, that would be the place to go.
Well done.
A Marlins game.
Well done.
Okay. So I know y'all are expecting a Cowboys rant, and I usually deliver on You Played Yourself. This isn't a fake out. I just need to update you guys and give you the real. Fam, they've finally broken me. I mean, you get Dalton having a concussion. His team doesn't stick up for him. And then we have someone named Ben DiNucci starting a game for fucking America's team somehow. And somehow the Cowboys are in contention in the game. They were leading at half and had a real shot to beat the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. But they were legit a competent QB away from doing so. And now we're trying to decide who should be starting against the undefeated Steelers. Cooper Rush, who is just re-signed to the team, or Garrett Gilbert. I mean, I don't, like, do I need to yell at something? Like, there's nothing to yell about. Like, this is an absolute fucking joke. It feels like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. You could have paid me $1 million and give me 1,000,000 guesses. Never would have thought we'd be in this scenario right now. Dalton was probably getting ready to be cleared from his concussion after sitting out this game that Ben DiNucci somehow, if he was even competent, Cowboys might have beat the Eagles. But then he gets put on the COVID list. So, like, it's legitimately a joke at this point what is going on this season. I'm hurt, fam. I'm just too hurt at this point. Football is pain. Football is dead. Send this NFL season into the sun. I know you agree with me this year. The Texans, you guys just got out from Bill O'Brien, and you're still feeling the repercussions of that. Like, put Deshaun Watson in bubble wrap and, like, let's just move on to next season.
We won't be good for another 2 years, man. So it's painful.
I mean, oh, by the way, since we're still on You Played Yourself, how bad are the fucking Eagles and Carson Wentz at this point? If
I was thinking that
Ben fucking DiNucci was in, the Cowboys were in that game. Ben DiNucci hung onto the ball as if he didn't have an entire backup offensive line around him.
Yeah.
If he hadn't have done that, they had a fucking real chance at winning that game somehow. And that would have been so fucking embarrassing, not only for the NFC East, but especially for the Eagles. And I'm starting to really think, like, Carson Wentz isn't it. And anyone that even put him ahead of Dak or in the same realm is fucking out of their mind. And it makes me even more upset that the Cowboys didn't sign Dak when Wentz signed his contract, because it would look like an absolute steal right now.
It would. And Wentz was pretty much overpaid too. Whenever I saw him get his contract, I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
There's no way. I mean, he's very average. There's nothing spectacular about him. And fun fact about Ben DiNucci, I remember watching that game or like tuning in halfway through, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy quarterbacking? And so I looked him up to see what school he went to, and I forgot. From the time I looked it up to this conversation,
it's James Madison, by the way.
I forgot what school he went to. And so that guy quarterbacked, a game for the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL season. And that's pretty incredible. Yeah, it's incredible, man.
It's almost as unbelievable as one time the Cowboys signed, like, John Kitna instead of salary.
But he was like
John
65
Kitna
years
was coaching
old.
like a high school. Yeah. And they paid, like, him money to be able to put towards his high school team he was coaching. It's that bananas to me that what we're going through here. Back to Carson Wentz. He's so fucking bad. Not only does he not do anything spectacular, he's turning the ball over. The least you can do if you're not spectacular is hold on to the fucking ball. But this man literally, I mean, everyone's dissected this play. One of his fumbles against the Cowboys, he rolled out to his left where no receivers were on that half the field. Yeah. And then not only did he not throw away the ball, he like hung on to it trying to make some sort of play where there's no one around, and the Cowboys safety came up and smacked the ball out of his hands and smacked the shit out of him. I've never seen someone like so keen on keeping another team in the game that had no business doing it. They made the Cowboys defense look like it was competent, which is truly a miracle. Truly a miracle. If the Cowboys played the Eagles every week, Mike Nolan might be sought after as a head coach. Like, it's that. It was that impressive how shitty the Eagles are. And I truly don't know. I know people love to pour it on in the NFC East. I truly don't even think the Eagles deserve it. I think they're going to end up winning the division, but they are an awful team, and I would have loved to see Dak Prescott just fucking tear that team up on Sunday Night Football.
That would have been a massacre if Dak was playing.
It's crazy. I mean, I still can't believe the Cowboys were up at half in that game. You made fun of me. I was like, this is kind of a moral victory, and I fucking hate those. I despise everything about saying that, but this season is so backwards that I was like, they were actually up at half in a game they had no business being in. And it's like, I think what you said, I'm about to call the cops on you.
Yeah, man. Someone stole your phone.
Who am I fucking talking to? And I said, great. I'd love to press charges all the fucking time the Cowboys have wasted for my life because I truly deserve, reparations from them.
Yeah, man.
They fucking wasted my life every week. And they've finally broken me. So that's why here I am. My blood pressure's not raised. Like, they've broken me. I'll find other things to rant about for you number one podcast listeners, I promise.
And I don't think
it's going to be the Cowboys.
The fact that you say that you're broken is, there's proof in the, just all of this. The fact that you said there's a moral victory in a Cowboys game is proof that they've broken you. And
I'm so against that.
That's not normal.
There's no such thing as a moral victory because it doesn't count. It means nothing.
You need to be put in concussion protocol.
Right. The one bit of solace I'm finding is they're now projected as the fourth pick in the draft. So
that's pretty sweet.
NFL draft season has already started for me. So
hey man, the Texans don't have a first or a second, so congrats.
All right, well,
the Dolphins are going to be
14.
The Dolphins are going to be trading next to you with our picks, and that sucks.
Crazy. And they're surprising this year. They're a number one defense. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to who you got, what you feeling. And just a little recap of last episode that I had with Vish. We picked Steelers at Titans, which is a couple weeks ago. I was right on this one. Vish took the Titans. I took the Steelers. Obviously, they're still undefeated, so we know how that went. We picked the Big Ten opener. It was Michigan at Minnesota. We both did not want to pick the team at North, so we didn't, but we ended up very wrong. So Michigan beat Minnesota, but then lost the following week to Sparty. You absolutely hate to see it, and no, you don't.
Petty alert, petty alert, petty alert.
And then we made our World Series picks, and I was right again. I picked Dodgers in 6. Vish fell asleep, but then ended up making a pick Dodgers in 5 because we didn't give a fucking shit about that World Series. Okay, so this week, I wanted to change it up a little with the NFL. I wanted to get your take on who you think the worst team in the NFL is right now. I know it's a big discussion. Obviously, the New York Jets haven't won a game, but there's some real contenders in this shit sandwich of a season. The Jaguars are sucking. They're going to be starting not Gardner Minshew. The Giants and the Cowboys. And then I also wanted to do a little different one. The most disappointing team, which obviously it could be the same answer for both. But the candidates I was thinking about disappointing are not necessarily the worst, but I was thinking also Dallas, someone like New England, Minnesota, the Chargers who've somehow lost every fucking close game in new and crazier ways, and your Texans. So give me your worst team in the NFL and your most disappointing.
All right, I'm gonna probably, for the worst team, I think we picked on the Jets enough today, so we're gonna give them a little break here because let's be real, they're probably the worst. I don't even know who the fuck they're starting at running back or wide receiver, and these are some things that you see typically playing fantasy, and it's just would you pick up a Jets player under any circumstances and start them at this point? The answer is no. So, but I'm gonna go with the Jags. They're pretty fucking terrible, I gotta say. I mean, they've been honestly tanking for Trevor Lawrence, I'm sure, because he's not that far up the road. Whatever. My problem with them is that they won the first game of the year. What the fuck were they doing?
That Colts comeback.
Why did they come back against the Colts? I'm sure Gardner Minshew has a stake in playing hard and not wanting to lose a job as a 6th rounder. But dude, come on, man, he fucking blows. I don't know why they let him start. They should have, whoever they're starting this week against the Texans. I don't even know his name. It's going to be our second win of the year. Just start these bozos and just let them tank and get Trevor Lawrence, because I think Jacksonville would probably be a better place than New York. So I'm gonna go with Jacksonville for the worst team in the league. Most disappointing team, honestly, man. I'm gonna ignore the Texans because they've been severely disappointing. But I have to say the Cowboys, man. Just watching the talent they have, and like, I mean, in our family group chats, we talk about our teams all the time, and like, just comparing teams, like, you know, we'll compare quarterbacks, we'll compare wide receiver core, running backs, blah blah, and like O-line, all this shit, and it's just like the amount of talent that Cowboys have does not translate on the field, and just even like listening to this shit, like even listening to Prem Brulee every week and hearing you know, blow gaskets in your in your heart valves or whatever, it's just like, man, how does this team suck this bad? And you watch these guys, and it's like, there's like right now, they're missing, you know, they're playing a fifth string quarterback at some point, but it's like with Dak, they were losing games. They won against Atlanta on some miracle fucking like onside kick. It was not a real win. Like, it was hilariously bad for the Falcons, not impressive for the Cowboys. You know, and it's just like, man, that shit was. It's like embarrassing to watch. And then when Dak went down, it's just like, you know, this team is going to just fall off the wayside, because it's like they have no shot, because they were severely underperforming. Like, Zeke's fumbling like crazy. The O-line's injured up. The defense blows, and it's just like, man, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. They suck, bro.
You have to tell me twice.
Yeah.
So for worst team, I do think it's the Jets. I like your answer with the Jags. I really think the Giants have a lot to build on, so I wouldn't even put them in this category because their defense is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I am not a believer in Daniel Jones, and I am a believer in Saquon coming back better than ever. He's just freaking nature. But yeah, I'm going to go with Jets. I know it's the low-hanging fruit, but they are truly like a talentless team.
Yeah, man.
And they're trading away talent. Yes, they have picks, so they're in a position to get better. They're going to have their growing pains, but they need to fucking ditch Adam Gase too. Like,
he's horrendous.
A major step. For most disappointing, I mean, I've talked ad nauseum about the Cowboys and their disappointment, because it's truly like they had the talent, and they royally fucked up with their coaches, their nepotism in coaches, whole nine. Like, if you look at the roster beginning of the year, and they've had their injuries too, obviously, the roster at the beginning of the year, there's no reason they should have even been losing when they were somewhat healthy.
Right.
Like you said. But just in the effort, in the interest of being a little different, I'm going to go with the Patriots here. I think the Patriots, like, finally, we're all going to love to see them finally not be the Patriots they were. But to think, they lost Tom Brady, but they still have Bill Belichick, and they added a really inexpensive Cam Newton somehow. But they've been truly, truly disappointing, and losing games they ordinarily wouldn't have, and a great proof that it had more to do with Tom Brady than it did with Bill Belichick. So I think it's very disappointing. I think the AFC East was pretty much up for grabs. Like, the Patriots weren't going to be favored anymore, but you lost Tom Brady. You also gained a former MVP who's very hell-bent on proving people wrong and has not been the same. And then you don't have great talent around him and didn't improve, even though you lost the greatest quarterback. Like, you just had this notion that you were still going to be good. I don't know what it was.
It's the arrogance, man. It's the arrogance of the Patriots. You know, like, you got to know that, like, Bill Belichick's been like this just smug asshole for years, and like, I definitely like to see him fail. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it at the expense of Cam. And I mean, like, who is he throwing to now? It's just like they don't like. Yeah,
Edelman
it goes back to the Jets thing on fantasy. Yeah, it's like you go back to the Jets thing on fantasy. It's just like, who would you play on the Patriots at this point? And it's just like they don't have a single running back or receiver or tight end that you could even like honestly say. So it's like Cam's set up to fail. I mean, the whole team's kind of set up to fail. So it kind of sucks, but.
All right, so I thought that was a little bit of a change up so far midway through the season. Those other teams I mentioned have been disappointing in their own respect. Like, Minnesota's got too good of a running back in Dalvin Cook, and got a number one receiver. Like, it really is Kirk Cousins. I think
Kirk Cousins sucks, man. He sucks.
The Chargers seem like they're trending up. I mean, Justin Herbert looks really good. They're just finding crazy ways to lose, and obviously, any team that has a quarterback like the Texans, I'm thinking the Cowboys with Dak, and as the aforementioned Chargers with Justin Herbert, I think it's tough for me to make him most disappointing given the circumstance. So, all right, on to college football. There's a pretty big matchup. Number 1 Clemson is traveling to number 4 Notre Dame. Of course, we already talked about Clemson's without Trevor Lawrence due to COVID, but last I checked, Clemson is still 5.5-point favorites, which is very surprising to me. So I'll lead off here, and then I'll get your pick. I know you're a big Bucs guy, but I don't know how much you've been following the others. Clemson did survive a game against Boston College without Lawrence. Their backup got it together in the second half after they were looking real rusty. But before I make my pick, I wanted to reiterate, these teams that are outside of the top 4 currently, being in Ohio, there's a lot of Cincinnati fans want an outside chance at maybe squeaking into the college football playoff, or these other Power 5 schools that might have one loss are just outside the top 4. You do not want Notre Dame winning this game. And the reason is, I'm sure you've already realized it, but the College Football Playoff Committee isn't going to penalize Clemson for losing without their star quarterback. They'll still get in if they lose against Notre Dame. You might as well want them to win with their backup quarterback so that it essentially or potentially eliminates Notre Dame. Because if Notre Dame on their resume has, like, not only did you lose to Clemson at home, but you lost to their backup quarterback, then all these teams all of a sudden behind number 4 have a better chance at getting in. With that being said, on to my pick. I think Clemson finds a way to win. People seem to forget to mention they still have arguably the best running back in the country, Travis Etienne, and I think they're going to, just like escaping from Boston College, they're going to rely on him either in the pass game or the run game, whatever's working, and I think they're going to escape South Bend with the victory. So kind of, I mean, it would be a huge thing for the resume to be able to say that they won with their backup quarterback, but I just have a feeling it's going to happen. Who you got?
I pretty much agree with everything you said. Like, if you want your team to get in, you don't want Notre Dame to win in this game, because it's just like, if you lose against if they lose against a backup quarterback, they're pretty much fucked out of the playoffs.
Yep.
But I am going to go with Notre Dame in this game. Clemson did look really shaky against Boston College. I actually watched that game for the upset potential, because that one would have hurt them. Losing to Boston College would have hurt them. So I was,
that's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, you had the alerts come in saying that they were down. So I was like, oh shit, man, I got to tune in. Yeah. So I started watching, and then they ended up pulling the game away. But I think Notre Dame is a lot better of a team, obviously. But yeah, I think Notre Dame will probably take this game, especially being at home.
All right.
And I'm sure they'll have their own fans there. Do they allow fans?
Right.
Or what?
I don't know.
What's their policy? They're not even a real fucking conference or anything. So
this year they're pretty much in the ACC. Much to our dismay, like the ACC essentially added them because why wouldn't you? But I would have fucking loved if everybody refused them because they're so fucking righteous without a conference usually.
Big time.
But I mean, we'll see what happens. I think. Regardless, I think whoever loses this game, we'll see how it goes in relation to the ACC championship. So I'm very, very intrigued by this, especially without Trevor Lawrence.
Should be a fun game at the worst.
Yep. All right. What are you feeling, man?
Man, I guess being on a sports podcast is cool, but one of the things I'm feeling is a lack of sports right now. I felt like it was very high tension for a while, and I felt like, especially with Astros on, I was like glued to the TV for hours at a time. And the weather's way nicer in Houston, so it's kind of giving me a reason to be outside again and do other shit besides like watching a bunch of sports. I mean, still Sundays and all that stuff is still intact, but the weekdays and NBA being on, it's just like, man, I felt like I was like watching way too many sports, and there was too much overlap going on at the same time. And I guess a couple of albums I've been feeling is there's an album by a band called 100th. It's called Somewhere Nowhere. It's pretty groovy. It kind of feels like the end of summer, if I had to describe it.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so it's very groovy, has some like kind of beachy tones to it, some synths. It's pretty cool. It's pretty poppy. And then another album by a band called Nothing. The band name is literally Nothing, and the album's called The Great Dismal. It's produced by one of my favorite producers. It has like these really like dissonant, like very kind of eerie sounds. Like it's heavy, but it's pretty kind of thing. It's pretty dope. It just came out this past week, so I just got my vinyl in. So
that's
I
how people describe me, baby.
There you go.
That's how people describe me. Heavy
know.
but pretty, baby.
There you
already
go.
know the vibes.
Let's fucking go.
As for what I'm feeling, I get that lack of sports. Like, it was a lot of pressure. There's always something on like that. I feel like my wife and I have been able to watch a little bit more. I mean, we're on our second or third go around with Schitt's Creek, so definitely feeling that. I think I've already talked about that before. But as for what I'm feeling, you know, you love to see it. Ty Dolla $ign's new album featuring Ty Dolla $ign, just full of jams. All that man makes are hits, so I'm definitely feeling that. So go check that out if you're trying to vibe like number one podcast in your headphones do.
It's that buttery voice, man.
Yeah, man. It's just like one of a fucking kind, man.
Yeah.
He plays like every instrument and,
yeah, he's dope.
and is part of everything. Yeah, he just.
Oh, have you seen his Tiny Desk?
Yeah, I
his
just
Tiny
watched
Desk
it the
was
other day.
amazing. It was great.
Yep.
He sounded amazing.
It was cool to hear the live version of those songs that are on his new album.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, and his transitions were super smooth because you could tell he's got that like producer's ear.
Yeah, he jam packed like 9 songs into like a traditional like 3-song set, which was really cool.
He didn't talk at all like in the Tiny Desk usually do. So
yeah,
I was like,
love that.
I kind of like hearing like, oh, this is how this came together and all that, but I was like, if you're gonna fit in more songs, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, it was cool.
And all right, let's wrap it up with my 2 much sense and my advice that you didn't ask for. Chance to educate the people. This week, I wanted to talk about the ability to take criticism and the importance of it. Nobody likes being told that they're wrong or criticizing something about themselves. I'm chief among them. I hate being told I'm wrong, and I love being right. But it's something I've had to check in myself because it's not always productive to the people around you. So just keep in mind when you get criticism that bettering yourself is a truly amazing thing. And that can happen through criticism and the healthy processing of criticism. It takes some practice. It's not easy to hear that stuff, but if you take it in the scope of trying to improve yourself, I think it can pay enormous dividends for your overall being. So that's my 2 much sense for this week.
Love that, man. Very sage advice.
You know, I try amidst all these high blood pressure rants, but this week I was kind of calm. You know, the Cowboys broke me, so I'm in this weird headspace in sports.
You're in an existential crisis.
Dude,
with your sports
weird.
fandom.
It's so weird. But anyway, that wraps up another edition of the number one podcast in your headphones. You know, we like to keep it spicy. I'd like to thank my co-host for this episode, Roshan Bhatt, my cousin, Big
yes,
Bro.
Sir.
Appreciate
yes, sir.
you being on, man, and keeping it spicy as always.
You already know.
And letting us call out the asterisk title behind the Dodgers.
You already know, baby.
But you already know the vibes, you know. Like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We greatly appreciate the listens and the support. It means a lot. And we will talk to you next time on the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee, baby.
Sir, we out.